What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jacob, also known as Pick Management, here with my new co-host for the MLS Betting Insiders, my guy Bradley Jacobs, aka Brad Betts, who is here to smash the MLS slate. Brad, what's up, buddy? I know you're here. People are excited, and they are excited because you used to play soccer pretty much pro, and that's why we got you here, because nobody knows the game like a player. So I'm going to say hi to Brad. Brad, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your history. And yeah, we'll dig right into it after that.
Awesome. Well, what's up, everybody? My name is Bradley Jacobs. I'm really excited to be here on MLS Betting Insiders with Jacob Pick Management. Just a little background, hit it short and sweet. Again, Bradley Jacobs. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. I played college soccer at the University of Memphis, and after college, went on, started a job, and then a couple years into that, I got an opportunity to try out for the what at the time was the semi-professional soccer team, a little bit known as Nashville Football Club. This is actually the inaugural original warm-up shirt that they gave us, which is super cool. Not a lot of people have it. The only people that do were the original players. So I keep it near and dear. I figured I'd wear it to the first stream that we'd be on here talking about the MLS.
Awesome. That's so great. Brad is getting into, betting more, quote unquote, professionally. He's put out great content and picks on his social medias. We'll give those out later so you can follow. But before we dive into today's best bets, I got to tell you guys about two tools every bettor needs in their toolbox. First is the Juicerill app. Juicerill is the totally free app that automatically syncs with your sportsbook to provide insights and analytics into how you wager so you could become a better bettor. They now have a new feature where you can buy picks right from your favorite handicappers on there, because there are guys who are climbing the leaderboard. Brad mentioned full transparency. There is nothing like a third-party verification app that automatically syncs with your book, because you know that your bets are legit. So make sure you check out the Juicerill app and all their new features. They just had a new update. It's real great. Link is below. And then the other one is the Rhythm app. With March Madness here, they are giving out free AI-generated brackets. They are partnered with Kyle Kuzma to do that. Their AI program over there, Brett, I don't know if you know this about Rhythm, but they are a free app that teaches people how to build sports betting models. Usually it takes years and tons of money to learn how to do something like that. Like our buddy Mark from the NHL Betting Insiders, his model took years to build. Rhythm app fast tracks you to being a analytics-based bettor by teaching you how to build these models. You can modify the ones that they have using 3 years of historical data, or build your own from scratch. That's the AI-driven Rhythm app. The link is below, so make sure you guys check that out. My NBA model for the Rhythm app went 19-13 in my first week, plus 7.5 units. So it's pretty good for my first model over there. Make sure to check out the Rhythm app. But Brad, I'm going to go ahead and throw this over to you. We're going to dig into your best bets. You can give me one. We'll chat about it a little bit, go through them like that, and then I'll give mine. We'll recap and get everybody out of here. So what do you have for your first bet for this? It's week 5. Because it's week 5, right?
It is week 5, but there's a few teams that factor in. So you have Miami, who's played 5, and then
this would be 6, right?
3.
Yeah.
They'll be playing their 6th game this week.
Sure.
So we're in the middle of that time. But I wanted to hit everybody just real quick with a couple of statistics that I pulled for the MLS this season. I think they're really important before we kind of dive into the individual games. Gives us a little bit of a background. Right now, the whole league through 56 games is hitting BTTS at 66%, which is pretty high numbers compared to a lot of the leagues throughout the year or throughout the world. So we want to make sure that we're always focusing on a lot of those leagues that are scoring. And right now the MLS is, but not even just that. In the last, 38 games of those 56, it's actually hitting BTTS at 71%. So it's ticked up a little bit. We got a little bit more scoring, and you'll see a couple of my bets here factored into that. First bet we have is Sporting KC and Los Angeles Galaxy. That's both teams to score and over 2.5 goals. And I'm riding this because the Galaxy have hit this in 13 or 14 games. The Sporting Kansas City has scored in 20 of the last 24. They've conceded in 13 of their last 16. They've also hit over 2.5 in 9 of the last 11. So we got 2 teams scoring, 2 teams conceding. Hopefully they'll run up the score, hit both teams to score over 2.5.
Yeah, I really like, as you say, this Kansas City team, they are looking to score more. What's his face? They have the guy, I can't remember his name. Their top guy over there, really competing for the Golden Boot this year. And this Galaxy team, who has played better offensively has really lacked defensively. We going into the season, a lot of people had high hopes for this team. They made some moves, some adjustments, and we've definitely seen that on their offense. But this defense is lacking, and I think Kansas City. I don't have a official play on this, but I do like Kansas City to probably get a win here, just because we see such a difference between these home and road splits for a lot of these teams. It's like they go on the road and forget how to play soccer. I really love that bet. What else do you have?
Yeah, in addition to the Galaxy and Sporting, I believe that we're going to see goals in New England and Chicago. Let's be honest, I struggled with which direction I was going to go between both teams to score and over 2.5 goals, mostly because both teams are scoring and both teams are conceding at very high rates. So New England, we have them scoring 14 of the last 16 and conceding in 15 straight matches, playing at home to Chicago, who has conceded in 16 of their last 18. Both teams of scorers hitting all 4 for Chicago this season thus far. And between the two teams, their matchup history, they've hit BTTS in 13 of 15. So we really like those numbers here. I like over 2.5, maybe if the juice comes down a little bit and one team scores in that first half and you get an opportunity maybe at halftime, just depends on how that game flow is going.
Sorry, I was going to say, I really love that play. New England is the one team I have press credentials for. So I was thinking about actually going to this game because we could see it from on field. So that's something that we plan on doing. We did get a green light from the Rev last season to do a day with the team. So we'd go there, check out practice, interview with a player and coach, locker room, the whole nine. So for all the viewers, keep an eye out because that's something we plan on doing this season. And I will definitely be doing some stuff from the Rev games, maybe some live betting shows and whatnot. I won't be going. I haven't decided yet if I'll be going to this weekend, but I did get my press pass for the Inter Miami game, so I can see Messi play because I've never seen him play before. So that'd be pretty cool. But I just wanted to touch on that New England, Chicago. New England has been a big letdown so far, and Chicago's been a pleasant surprise with their offensive capabilities so far. So I think both teams to score yes is going to be a gimme for this game. Did you have the odds for that one by any chance?
It was 165 when I took it over on MGM. And for me, 165 in the MLS is not a bad line. Actually, when I anticipated what this line was going to be, I was thinking it was going to be somewhere around 220 to 240. Sure. And then you probably have to parlay those together, just like we did with the Galaxy.
Right.
And these teams are scoring at tremendous rates. Chicago plays a super open gameplay. So that allows, and it's not just Chicago, the MLS as a whole plays very open, other than maybe a handful of teams. So we really like this pick. And I'm going to continue to ride Chicago. I'm going to continue to ride England, continue to ride Los Angeles Galaxy.
For sure, yeah. Both teams to score. I play Bovada. It's -160. But I'll tell you because we haven't done a show before. A lot of people criticize me that my biggest criticism from viewers and subscribers is that I give out a lot of plays with steep juice. You don't pay the juice if you win, and I'm okay. Not all the time, but I'm the kind of guy that I'm okay betting 100 to win 50. So -200 is usually my cap. But I don't do it all the time, but I'm okay. 170, 180. I'm okay with that because I'd rather pay the extra $5-10 to secure a win instead of, not doing it and then losing, 50, 60, $75 a bet. So
I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, you're correct. It's not that much juice. And one strategy that I actually employ with some of the followers that we have is I call it a bet and buy the dip. So if you don't like the EV at the beginning of the game, well, take half of your bet, put it there at the beginning, and then as the game comes down, take a number that you're comfortable with that allows you to then move what that original line was you had just a little bit EV by a little bit of profit. And I think soccer is that unique sport where you're either getting closer to hitting your bet or you're going to get a better line. So it really does work for this sport in general. You can't really say that in football. I can't really say that in basketball. I think it's just, I don't know if it's anybody else employs this technique, but I find it a really profitable way to increase your expected value.
Yeah, we're going to make you do a solo video, an evergreen one, explaining that so people can get the lowdown on how to do that. But what else do you have? I know you have one more bet for this Saturday slate. What was it?
Yeah, we got one more bet, and we're going to be riding a team that we've been riding for a long time. I actually posted about this on X as a little prelude to this video. But the Columbus Crew right now are just playing some tremendous football, and it's not just me saying that. And with watching it, we're looking at the statistics here. The Columbus Crew have lost, what was it? Well, they only lost one of their last 18 matches and 4 of their last 35. That is insane. They would be winning 10 in a row right now if they didn't have two stoppage time equalizers, 10 straight games. They've only lost to Atlanta, who seems to be their kryptonite. They seem to match up really well with them. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to give me Columbus Crew at minus 116, where I got it on FanDuel, for a draw no bet, give me the safety net all day. No brainer.
So I'll tell you, I am on this game too. But I said, fuck it. I took the money line. I said, last week, I fell asleep and did not get to put in all my bets. And I missed out on all these cashes that I had, all these big money lines because I didn't take them, or on a couple games I put in the draw no bet when they won outright. Not doing that again. I think some of these teams are so much better than their opponents. And one good example of that is this Columbus versus Charlotte. Charlotte is not the best team. Well, they haven't been terrible. They haven't lost in 5 games. They have drawn, 4 out of their last 5.
They won only 1 of their last 4 and 7 of their last 29. So
yeah, there you go.
Discrepancy between the two teams, it's massive.
And the one game that's – go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sorry, it's just this Columbus Crew. Mostly, it comes down to their coach, and I mentioned it in my on my X earlier. That coach, he's currently being scouted by Southampton. So this is a man who has taken a program and really elevated it. And if you're going to give us that number with every single game, 4 of their last 35, we would have lost this bet. I mean, for me, it's just a no-brainer. You have to play it.
Yeah, Columbus has played well this year. They have played multiple home games in a row, but they did take it to Houston in one of their first away games. And the Charlotte team, they've played well, but it's not been against the greatest teams. They beat Toronto, who's not that good. They only beat New York City at home, which is not that good. They lost to Toronto, lost to the Red Bulls. These are teams that Columbus would blow out of the water. So that's why I am on Columbus plus 145, and I took their team total over 1.5 at plus 125.
Well, you gotta like it. We're on the same page here.
Yeah,
right? I tend to bet pretty conservatively, and you'll see that throughout the lifetime of my bets. Sometimes we'll have a bit of juice. I like a safety net of the draw on the bet. I love the money line for the Columbus Crew, but I'm going to take the safety net. So if you want to split your bet between the money line and the draw on the bet, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Honestly, I usually would do that. But for some reason this weekend I'm on fire this weekend, and I said, no, we're going to win some serious units. I'm going with my gut, and my gut is backed up with some pretty solid analytics too. So that's like a double whammy for me. So I really like it. But those are your bets for this week, right?
Those are my 3. I have a number of other bets, but those are my 3 favorite. I might send out a lean as we get closer to kickoff.
Sure.
Come over, follow me on X, check that out. But those are my 3 favorite for this week.
All right, yeah. I have a couple more. Feel free to jump in after I give them out. Awesome. I'm going to the early kickoff. Red Bulls versus Inter Miami, and I am taking Inter Miami plus 205 and their team total over 1.5. A lot of people there's a lot of chatter about this Red Bulls team being better defensively and being better overall. I don't buy it. I get that they beat Dallas, they beat Houston, but they just took a whooping against Columbus on the road. And I think this Inter team is just a different kind of animal. With or without Messi, they have got the pieces to really dominate some people. The other guy's name, Messi's like number 2, has really stepped. I'm sorry, say it again.
Luis Suarez.
Yes, Suarez has really stepped up. He has started to not just play a position, but be a leader on that team as well. Not just everyone is depending on Messi for everything. They've put up a ton of goals so far this year. Already scored 11 goals in the last 4 games. If you go back to Orlando City, so far at 14 goals. I really think this team is just on a different level. I feel like it's like a European team playing in the MLS right now, honestly. So I don't think the Red Bulls have a chance. I think they take a home L here. So I didn't even take the draw no bet, honestly. Maybe I'll split it. Maybe I am being a little crazy. And, if you want to be conservative and do the smart thing, you should take half a unit, put it on the draw no bet, half a unit, and put it on the money line. Because when we hit the money line, it'll make up for the draw no bet. But even the draw no bet price, I believe, is still at plus money here. Plus 122 even that for draw no bet. So, I mean, it is a phenomenal line. And I also took their team total over 1.5 at plus 160. Red Bulls have let up some goals, and they've let up goals to lesser opponents, which makes me think Inter is going to be able to get a couple here. Any thoughts from you on this one?
I got a lot of thoughts.
All right, let's hear it.
New York Red Bulls are definitely not the team that we've seen in seasons past defensively. They just don't. I don't know if it's this. There's a couple games that we've seen. We need a larger sample size to really give us a true understanding of what they're doing. But thus far, I haven't seen them play as conservatively as they have, and that kind of does play into Miami's hands. Luis Suarez is an absolute finisher. And what he's doing right now is he's taking some of that pressure off of Messi, which is what he saw last year where they would converge on him at the top of the box. Now he has a little bit of an outlet. That's helping him. He has a couple other guys to play to. But with Miami as well, they seem to be getting tired late in the game. Some of those older legs, when they don't make those substitutions at the right time. I've seen what I've really liked is that both teams to score. I'm scared of what it's like without Messi. I do agree with you. They're just a different animal right now. So I do think it's a good bet. But I also could see both teams to score happening in this match as well. So
for sure,
total, it fits right in.
Yeah, I love that too. That's at minus 150, so not so bad. I think I'll probably end up making that official and giving out my VIP. So make sure to check out the Discord and my socials if you guys want that to see if I make it official. Brad's got some really great insights and has put me on some other stuff I wasn't really thinking about yet. So I'll be adding some of these to the list for sure. I have just a couple more plays. St. Louis City is taking on. I'm sorry. They're taking on. God, why can't I remember this off the top of my head? DC United, duh. Sorry.
The Fighting Teques.
Right. St. Louis City, I'm a big believer in that team. I was a big believer in them last year and made a bunch of money off of it. I get their, sophomore slump is, kind of. I wouldn't even say it's hitting because they haven't lost. They've put up a bunch of goals. They've drawn. They're getting points per game. And I think at home, they've beat New York City FC 2-0. And I think this DC United team traveling right now played a 0-0 draw on the road against Cincinnati, 2-2 at Portland. They've played better at home, but like I said before, some of these home road splits for these teams, it's like they forget how to play when they go on the road. And I think St. Louis would love nothing more to get a home win, put up some more goals, and to not draw another game. So I did take St. Louis City plus 100, and I took St. Louis DC, both teams to score yes, plus 165, just because St. Louis has been giving up goals, and DC United has been, except for the 0-0 shutout, has put up a goal in in 3 out of the last 4 games that they've played. And I think St. Louis is still a little leaky at the back because they are an older team too. And that is one thing I have seen is they have the same kind of scenario towards the end of games, which has allowed teams to, get some consolation goals and then draw. So that is what I'm on for this one. Thoughts, concerns, questions? It's okay if not.
I like it. The thing is with St. Louis is they've been pretty leaky. We cashed on them last week. I believe they played the Galaxy last week and they ran that score up. Was it 3-3?
Yeah, 3-3.
I believe it was a late game. We cashed on, of course, it was the Galaxy, so it feels like we've been cashed on them like crazy. But St. Louis City, they are very good offensively, and they do have a goal in them. So it does sometimes scare me taking somebody on the money line that way, but they have enough firepower. I think they can get that done at home.
Yeah, for sure. Love it. I got 2 more. I got a big card this week. I really like a lot of stuff. So we are going to the Cincinnati game, and I am taking Cincinnati versus NYCFC. I'm on FC Cincinnati minus 105. So let me pull this up.
That's a good pick. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe in NYCFC. I think they are a paper tiger. I get they have not lost any games, but they have been really lucky to not. They've played lesser competition in Toronto, Portland, Charlotte, Chicago. I think the Cincinnati team had a kind of a rough go of it to start. Weren't putting up a lot of goals. I think they have not lost yet this year. They are right 2-1-2, right? Sorry, I say right, you have notes in front of you. I gotta check this out. It's funny. I have the nightlight on my screen, so there's no reflection on the glasses, but it changes the color of the win-loss record, so they blend in together. So I couldn't. It was like I was colorblind. I had to turn it off so I could see. Cincinnati has lost 2 games so far this year, both against Monterey. That was in the CONCACAF. So in the league, they have taken down New England and Chicago on the road. At home, I think they would like nothing more than to get a home win, especially after playing a 0-0 draw against DC United. NYCFC is not going to travel well. The Cincinnati team has the firepower, the desire to blow a team out, and I think that's what is on deck here. So I took FC Cincinnati minus 105, and I will probably jump on their team total as well. Or if I can get game total over 2 at a reasonable price, I'll be on that. But I'll give that out closer to Saturday. Anything for you on this one?
I agree. And until we see something different from New York City FC, there's just no way you can want to financially back them at this point. There's just not enough pattern of play. And with Cincinnati, you have a definite identity and some really big personalities within the team. And you need not just one or the other. I mean, you kind of need one or the other, but having both of them together is really important with a team like in the MLS. So I love it, honestly. Until again, New York City changes our opinion, we'll have to fade them.
Right. All right. And just one more. It's going to be a late game, San Jose versus Seattle. I took the game over 2. It was at minus 173. I know it's gone up a bit. Both of these teams, I can't count on either one to do it themselves, but they are both kind of leaky defensively right now. I expected more out of Seattle to start, and I think the San Jose team, who has really been struggling, could lose badly to Seattle, because Seattle, I think, does have the weapons to be better, and they should be playing better. They've played out 2 draws the last couple games at home. They have lost on the road to LAFC so far this year. I'm interested to see what they'll be able to do in San Jose. But I think San Jose just gives up a lot of goals, and I'll always take a over 2 at a reasonable price in the MLS. So that's what I'm on for this one.
Yeah, I believe Seattle's, if I don't remember correctly, they're struggling both offensively and defensively. I know they're down in the bottom of the list for my analytics. I can't remember if it's for the BTTS or if it's the over 2.5, but the goals aren't flying in as much as they used to have been with them.
Sure.
So at this point, I'm not really high on Seattle. So until, again, just like New York FC, and thus far, only 4 games into the season, that's okay. Pattern plays have to develop. So we'll see a little bit more throughout the season, but until they can get a foot on the pedal and move in the correct direction, you got to fade them.
Yeah, I totally agree. The Seattle team, I really, going into the season, I really just thought that they were going to be one of the top highest scoring teams, and I still kind of think that. One team I thought was kind of like that was the Union, and that's like last season. If you watch the show last season, you're watching again, you'll know I kept refiring on that team, and I was getting smoked in the beginning of the year. And that's kind of my lesson I'm learning with Seattle. So if this doesn't hit, I'll probably be laying off of Seattle games for a minute. But I like it against San Jose. What we're going to do now, though, we're going to go ahead and go over our best bets. So Brad, why don't you go ahead and recap your best bets?
Absolutely. We got it's, I believe, an early game, but New England versus Chicago, both teams to score. Again, it's happening so frequently right now. Chicago's hit it in all 4 games. They've hit it in 13 of 15 matchups. Both teams are scoring and conceding in really, really high rates. So we're going to continue to back them. We also have the Los Angeles Galaxy and Charlotte Oh no, sorry, that was Columbus. We have who is it?
KC.
Sporting Kansas City and the Los Angeles Galaxy. Both teams to score and over 2.5 parlay. I actually got that at 131 over minus 131 at FanDuel, and we're basically going to continue to tail this Galaxy team. They've hit this number in 13 of the last 14 matchups. Sporting is over 2.5 in 9 of the last 11 home matches. They've scored in 20 of the last 24. Galaxy have scored in 17 of the last 18. I could go on and on. Over 2.5, both teams to score combined. And then our last pick is Charlotte versus Columbus. And basically, we're fading Charlotte, who's only won 7 of the last 29 matches. And we're backing the Crew, who have won 17 of their last 18 and 31 of their last 35. Or sorry, they haven't lost 4 of their last 35 and 1 of their last 18, excuse me. And they would have won 10 straight if it wasn't for 2 late stoppage time victories. So we're going to continue to ride the hot hand.
Yeah, love it. And tell people where they can find you on socials and whatnot.
Yeah, you can find me over on X, Bradley L. Jacobs. I actually have where's it right here.
All right.
You want to check me out over there. I give picks out regularly, mostly through my Telegram. It's free. I try not to overdo with content, but what we do provide is a whole lot of statistics on a lot of leagues throughout the world. So Europe, Asia, America, you name it, we're covering it, and we're making sure that we're giving you really smart, detailed content that you can use daily.
Yeah, I love that. And I'll talk to Brad after the show about getting him set up in the Discord and getting him more involved and whatnot over there. But this has been great. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and drop my best bet recap. I am on Inter Miami plus 205. That's just the money line. Inter Miami team total over 1.5. Columbus Crew money line plus 145. Columbus Crew team total over 1.5. St. Louis City SC plus 100. St. Louis DC, both teams to score yes. FC Cincinnati minus 105. And San Jose Seattle over 2. I just got to tell you guys, if you have not checked it out yet, you need to check out the Rhythm app, totally free app that lets you build your own sports betting models. They are giving out free AI-generated brackets for March Madness, sponsored by or partnered with Kyle Kuzma. So make sure you guys check out the Rhythm app. The link is below. And then also check out the Juicewell app. If you guys are serious about being, a quote unquote pro bettor, you want to give out picks and that kind of thing, you need to have a third-party verified betting record. And there's no way better to do it than with the Juicewell app. You can now sell your picks right through Juicewell with cash. They pay out through Apple Pay. It's a whole new feature. They are doing a really great job over at Juicewell. I was one of their first 50 users, and now they have like 90,000. So I've seen all the iterations of it, and this app is really top-notch. So make sure you check that out. Otherwise, you guys can find me here daily on the NBA and NHL Betting Insiders, and then twice a week with Soccer Ash on Betting the Pitch Europe and UEFA. And then, of course, weekly here with Bradley Jacobs, a.k.a. Brad Betts. And find me across all socials at Pick Management. This has been the MLS Betting Insiders. We will see you later.
See ya. Thanks.